The Universe by Sarah Wisniewski. Here is a picture that was made out of paper that is construction, and it indicates the universe, although the asteroid belt there is not of size, but it was pretty approximate in the beginning, made by Sarah. So first in the universe we have the Sun. It has a size of 1,351,848 kilometers. A fact is that the Sun rotates every 36 days. Its scale is 9,089,069,988 kilograms. The composition is 70.6% hydrogen plus 27.4% helium. Made of sodium, nickel, and iron 2, oxygen, carbon, nitrogen, aluminum, magnesium, neon, iron, sulfur, and calcium are also what the Sun is made of. Next we have the terrestrial planets, being Mercury, Venus, Earth, and Mars. Mercury has a distance of 35 million kilometers away from the Sun. Its scale is 4,879 kilometers in size, which is a third of Earth's size. It has no moon. Mercury also has the composition of silicate rocks in it. Venus has a composition of carbon monoxide-dominated atmospheres. Its distance is 108,200,000 kilometers away from the Sun. The scale is 12,104 kilometers in length. Venus has no moon. Thirdly, we have Earth. Its distance is 149,600,000 kilometers away from the Sun. Its composition is heavy metal cores with a water vapor to moderate daily temperatures. Its scale is 12,756 kilometers in size, and the amount of moons is only 1. Mars, coming next and being fourth, its composition is 78,000 feet, nearly 24 kilometers of big mountains. Its distance is 227,900,000 kilometers away from the Sun. Mars' scale is 6,792.4 kilometers wide. Its moons are Phobos and Deimos, made of carbon, and are possibly previous asteroids. The asteroid belt comes next. Its location is between Mars and Jupiter. Distance is 329,115,316 kilometers away from the Sun. Characteristics. The shape of the asteroid belt is spherical around the Sun and terrestrial planets. It includes asteroids and comets. An object is also there, being Ceres, a dwarf planet. Composition. The asteroid belt is composed of rocks and stones. Iron and nickel metals is what it's made of. Orbiting characteristics. Carbonaceous chondrites containing 10% of water are made as spatial objects, including iron meteorites. Scale 329,100,000 kilometers in distance of itself. Up next, the Jovian planets, being Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune. The distance of the Jovian planets starts at 47,145,591,768.7 kilometers from the Sun. It scales 5.2 to 30.1 astronomical units away from the Sun, which is up to a total of 4,759,565 light years, in other words. Jupiter has significant moons like Io, Europa, Ganymede, and Callisto. Its composition is phosphorus, hydrogen, and helium. Its scale is 142,980 kilometers. Saturn has significant moons such as Mimas, Enceladus, Tethys, Dione, Rhea, Titan, and Iapetus. It's made of 75% hydrogen and 25% helium. Scale is 120,540 kilometers. Uranus has moons like Miranda, Ariel, Umbriel, Titania, and Oberon. Its make is Uranus, of course, with big ice giants and elements such as oxygen, carbon, nitrogen, and sulfur. Scale is 51,120 kilometers. Neptune's moons are Triton and Nereid. Its make is also with big ice giants with more elements such as oxygen, carbon, nitrogen, and sulfur. Its scale is 49,530 kilometers. So getting smaller here. And that's it for the planets, because then we have the Kuiper belt. Its location lays before the Oort cloud and still a distance past Pluto, even though Pluto is not designated as a planet anymore. Its distance is 529,592,547,450 kilometers away from the Sun. Its composition is frozen matter, water, ice, carbon, nitrogen, oxygen, magnesium, silicon, sulfur, iron, and nickel. Orbiting characteristics are comets that fly in solar winds, and an Arrokoth is the name of a binary object in the space, which is a two spatial object piece combined together. The Oort cloud comes lastly. It is located past Neptune, Pluto, and the Kuiper belt. Its distance happens to be 747,989,353,500 kilometers away from the Sun. Its characteristics are composed of icy objects surrounding the farthest around the Sun. Composition is water, ethane, carbon monoxide, hydrogen, and cyanide. Its orbiting characteristics is that it's a spherical shell and has icy objects surrounding it that are as big as mountains. Here is a chart of the mass and density for each planet. And lastly, the citations. Thank you so much for listening, and I hope you learned a lot about the universe we have here today.